Hey guys, I just want to let you know, thank you so much for coming out this weekend. We started off things with Porter Dog. I'd like to thank them for doing a great show, but also want to thank Voice of Reason for doing our first outdoor concert. It was amazing if you were there. I really enjoyed their performance, and then they also donated part of their performance to us, which was great. It was a great reggae experience. We did the Paradise in the parking lot. We had frozen drinks. Yeah, if you missed it, you better not miss the next ones. I tell you what, Big Wow the next night was even equally better. In fact, they were just phenomenal. Those guys are just a great performing group. I really appreciate them coming out and enjoying such a great show. And they didn't have to do that. Thank you so much to Sal and his group. They donated their entire performance to our theater. That makes me feel so good. Let me give you a little bit about my background and why I created what we created. I grew up in the East Coast in Massachusetts. And about 1 year old, my dad left. My mom and dad got divorced, and I was left on my own at 1 year old. And I really didn't get a chance to have a real good father figure in my life. Even though my father was in my life, he wasn't around all the time. I think I saw him maybe two times a year, in about 2 weeks in a total year time. And it just, he was never there. My brothers, never got along. So, and my mom, and we just didn't have a lot of great experiences in our family when we grew up. So, I was always told I wasn't going to amount to anything. And that to me, I was a kind of called a loser. And that, it just was so bad, negative environment that I just wanted to get out of it. And I left my house, with my mother and my stepfather at 15 years old. I went on my own. I lived on my own in an apartment. I even went to school and tried to balance the apartment and school. Then it wouldn't work. I had to pay for, I had to work more because I had to pay for my own place. So I went ahead and dropped out of high school. And it's not a great thing, but you know what? By dropping out of high school, I was able to work at Burger King and really get enough money so that I can to get my apartment. And the thing is, though, is that I was still looking for that place to belong. My family wasn't there, so I started hanging around the wrong group. And even though it was great and felt great to hang around, I had a great time with these guys. But fortunately, we were breaking into cars, stealing car radios, change, and then breaking into houses, and it was stuff that I didn't want to really do. But I was with them, and I wanted to be part of something. So it was like a gang that I was part of, and then we ended up stealing a car. That was the worst thing I ever done. Well, I wouldn't say that. We broke into a house too, but those are things. Doing some vandalism. Stuff that I would never harm anybody, but I just knew in the back of my mind it was wrong. But I would still do it. And I got into drugs. My brother was a drug dealer, so it was really accessible for me. So I started taking drugs, hanging around with the druggy crowd, and I just felt my life had no purpose. And I felt myself spiraling downhill. And then about when I was 17 years old, my dad came down on one of his trips. He was a long haul trucker, and he came by and said, "Hey son, he saw me with I had holes in my shoes covered with cardboard. My uniform was dirty because I didn't have any laundering facilities. It was just a rough situation, and I was looking pretty rough. My hair was a mess." My dad says, "You know what? How would you like to live with me?" And be honest with you guys, that was probably the most touching times of my life. This is what I was yearning for. My dad wanted, not saying my dad never accepted me, but I was able to go and live with him and belong again. And so I went and moved to Springfield, Vermont. And it was a tough transition. I was a city boy from Massachusetts. I was a B-boy. I used to carry my linoleum and my radio and sit and do, breakdancing in a corner to get some extra money. And I come to Vermont, and it's like every horseback riding, and there's motorcycle riding and snowmobiling, and everybody liked to go out there and cut down trees and do logging. That wasn't for me, so it took a while for me to adjust. So I buried myself into work. I buried myself into doing different things. So at the age of 17, I started working at a strawberry picking farm, and I tell you, my fingers still hurt to this day. There's a lot of prickles on those strawberries, and it was something I had to do though, and it was hot, but I would do it. And then I go working at a turkey slaughtering farm, which was that was the worst. But now, as I move and I progress, I worked at a locksmith company, but then I joined the military at 19 years old. as a big turning point in my life. I love the armed forces. My brothers were in the armed forces. My cousins were in the armed forces. It's almost my dad was in the armed forces. My grandfather was in the armed forces. There's so many. I'm starting to sound like Marissa Tomei and my cousin Vinny. But the thing is that it was such a turning point for me, and I enjoyed everything and meeting people. The only thing is I was 19 years old, and again, I was on my own with no guidance, just like I was 15. And I kind of steered to the group that I shouldn't have been with. I did the same thing in the military, and I got with groups that I shouldn't have been with, and I got in trouble. And it wasn't a good situation. I ended up going to a place called CC, which is jail in the military. To straighten out my act is corrective, counseling is what it is, CC. And it was just something that shaped my life. But then, I became 20 years old, I met the most important person in my life, and that's my wife. 30 years, we're going to be married in June 9th. This is the most exciting moment of my life to hit 30 years with her. I love this lady. She's my best friend. And when I met her, we clicked. We knew that this was going to be a together and forever life and with each other. So it's been amazing. But to tell you what, it's something that definitely shaped my life, changed me. I mean, I became a modeled sergeant in the Air Force. My shoes are always shined. My uniform is always pressed. I had people that are under me wanting to come to my shifts to work with me because of the fairness that I gave them. I treat everybody on an equal ground. It was just great. And when we started this theater, it's the same thing. I want to be able to give back to a lot of these actors and a lot of these staff members, a part of the Playhouse, that had wayward lives, have had problems, have been outcasted from their families, and I want them a place to belong. And that's where we created the Playhouse, a place for people to belong. And it's not just our Playhouse staff; it's also the people who come, our patrons, a place to come to escape and belong. So this is where we created this amazing concept. So what we're doing for this Rock the Concert series is raising monies to go and create murder mysteries so that you guys have a place to escape. And these actors are phenomenal. I mean, you have our theater board director, which is Nick Roberts, Tim Schmidt, who's our board director for the Playhouse, one of our board directors. We also have, Shree Armstrong. We have Dave Manning, Zach Bland. I mean, there's so many people. Tristan Jackson, Aaron Edwards, Gianna will always be in our heart. And then, of course, Eve Johnson, and there's so many. The list goes on and on. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's just amazing. But I tell you, Rebecca Ghost, we call her Becca, has been amazing. Our social media person has been amazing. And our new bar supervisor, Sarah Rapitz, is just amazing what she does. Rapatz, I think it is. I apologize, Sarah. But anyway, and then Marilyn Perkins, our costume designer, and she lightens up the room. Everybody loves Marilyn. Marilyn puts a lot of heart and soul what she does. And of course, Sandy Zavala, it's my wife. She works really hard at the Playhouse, and we work really hard for you. We want you to have a great place to belong. So realize when we do this Rock the Series concert series, Rock the Theater concert series, is for you guys as well. This is something that we want to bring out to the community. We want to bring bands and actors together because we're all performing arts, right? We're going to create the awesome, awesome organization that we want to create is Southwest Idaho Performing Arts Association. This is exciting. This is where we can get scholarships and give back to the community and give back to the people who deserve to be part of performing arts. And this Southwest Idaho Performing Arts Association is going to be a nonprofit that's going to go ahead and give people who are disadvantaged, who didn't have the opportunity, I hate to say disadvantaged, people didn't have the opportunity to become in the performing arts, era, whether it's live music, magicians, actors, dancers, you name it. It's all performing arts. But again, I won't go too much into that. But thank you so much for coming out to these Rock the Series concert shows. And I tell you what, we got a great lineup coming up. Starting out with going back into June 22nd with R.J. McGinnis. This guy puts in so much heart and soul into his music. This guy is amazing. Come check him out, June 29th. Now, Riff Raff, I can't talk enough about Riff Raff. Riff Raff has been there for the theater quite a bit. They've donated their time. They are part of the, they're helping us create different concepts. Linda and Kelly Jones are just an amazing people, and we're blessed. Thank Tommy and Fritz and also Dan, who are part of the group as well. Thank you so much, and don't forget June 29th to come check out Riff Raff. Also, do not forget August 3rd, we have the great Zach Quintana, and then August 10th, we have Matthew Hart and a great group out of Portland called the 5 Level Word. And then we go into August 17th, which is Captain Snafu, which is a Noble Holt, and everybody's seen him grow up. And then, of course, his mentor to close things out was with the great Russ Martin Band. And this guy is a mentor to a lot of people. Zach Quintana, Noble Holt, like I mentioned. He's just a phenomenal guy. Come check out our Rock the Series concert show and let us know what you think. Also, don't forget to go to playhouseboise.com and check out all the other great events we have. Thank you so much. Bye for now. God bless.